First up, at UFC Abu Dhabi, we have a rebooked fight from UFC Saudi Arabia. Sedriques Dumas is fighting Denis Tiuliulin. They were supposed to fight, what was that, about a month ago? A little over a month ago? About a week ago. But Sedriques Dumas, or SD Dumas for short, could not get a visa, could not get into Saudi Arabia. So they just moved the fight. They rebooked it. He took that fight on short notice, so I guess he gets a little bit of leeway. Sedriques Dumas is only 9-2 in his career. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off of that first round loss to Nursultan Ruziboyev, taking on 11-9 Denis Tiuliulin. He's only 1-4 in his last 5. He's coming off a 3-fight skid. Sedriques Dumas, we've talked about this a million times. He started his career as a street fighter, but he's evolved. He has some actual skills. He actually knows what he's doing. He's not just biting down and bombing away. His striking can be a bit technical. He's got a couple of takedowns in the back pocket. His jiu-jitsu is not very good, but it is kind of there, and he will listen. His corner will literally walk him through specific jiu-jitsu moves. He's not going to out-technique every single person, but he is tough. He will move forward. He's pretty fast, pretty technical. Not super technical, but technical enough, and he's long. He's taking on Denis Tiuliulin. Denis Tiuliulin is a very active guy. He competes as often as he can, about 3 times a year on average. But it's been a long time since he's won a fight. He is on that 3-fight skid. He's a come-forward guy. He's always looking for a finish. He has no problem getting into a slugfest. He likes to make fights as ugly and as fast-paced as possible so he can break people, so he can catch people. He does have legit power in his hands, but he does have some grappling holes. You can take him down, and you can exploit him from there. His takedown defense on paper looks good at 73%, but if he is taken down, absolute fish out of water. Dude has no idea what's going on. He's coming off that 3rd loss in a row. This was a KO finish by CLD. And I don't think SD Dumas is, great. He's not that good of a fighter, right? He's not that technical. But he's evolving. He started his career a little later. He converted to, an actual official licensed MMA a little later. No, a little later. So you can expect him to be not as technically sound as his opponents, but he has shown that he can fight, that he's tough, that he'll move forward. He's shown that he could take a shot. Nursultan Ruziboyev blasted that dude a few times, and he ate those shots. Ultimately, he ended up getting finished by Nursultan, but there was an eye poke in the mix, so that was a little sketchy. I think SD wins this fight because he's not going to be the better striker, but he can take a shot. Denis Tiuliulin slows down big time. Denis Tiuliulin on the ground has nothing to offer. Not that SD is very good on the ground, but SD, shockingly, is probably the more complete fighter in this matchup, and we know he can take a shot. SD Dumas is going to be the pick. What do you think, Chicky boy?
Yeah, how long was that? That felt like that was a long time.
You know what was happening? I was getting a whole bunch of text messages as I was talking, and I kept hearing that sound in my ear, and it was screwing me up. And as it wasn't as long as you think it was, I think you've just partake, maybe.
So somebody said, and I don't know where this came from. He said, just the first comment was, "You're going to lose, Jacob." The next one was, "You clown." And then the next one was, "Jacob, the red freckled loser." I don't know what I'm competing.
Who hates you? Yeah, who hates you?
I don't know. He said, "I'm going to lose." That's why I was like, what the fuck? I was like, "You're going to lose, Jacob." It's like,
oh, he called you rich. The rich red freckled loser. That's nice.
No, that's not him, Angelo. God, you're so old.
Oh, that was the response?
Jesus, man. And also, I have a funny,
it was this.
And you'll appreciate this. This is actually your type of humor, so I imagine you're going to be slapping your fucking knee on this one. I had somebody text me a picture of a tattoo of a bear, and they said, "I think I'm going to get a bear tattoo." So, Angela, what I said was, hold on to your fucking seats on this one. I said,
bear necessities? What'd you say? What'd you say?
Maybe you won't find this funny because it might be, maybe this is going to go over your head.
Too clever?
I said, "Get the bear on your ass." So you always have a bare ass.
Whoa, bro. That is a good trick. Can you break down this fight? Can you break down this fight? There are people that saw us for the first time ever last week, made a ton of money. They're tuning into their second show.
Listen,
ever,
you can put you all motherfuckers can put up with everything that I'm bringing you tonight for what I did for everyone fucking over the weekend, okay? So sit down, relax, have a drink, let's have some fun tonight because we're rolling in cash, just like you will be if you come a premium member today, hopefully, for $10 a month, right?
Who do you think wins this fight?
If you would stop interrupting.
Yeah.
Sedriques Dumas is going to win this fight. He's just the better fighter. I will say, though, I got a special place in my heart for Denis Tiuliulin, right? Me and you know Denis Tiuliulin very well. Denis Tiuliulin has one win in the UFC versus Jamie Pickett. He was number 10 of my lock of the week streak. I had won 9 weeks in a fucking row, and I picked Denis Tiuliulin to get me to number 10. And where were we, Angelo? You got me that beautiful date. We went together. We sat next to each other. I mean, you can say if it's true or not true. Did we not go to Bill Burr together?
Oh, that's when it was? We did go to Bill. Tiff, my wife, my heterosexual wife, because I'm in a heterosexual marriage, bought us those tickets as a gift to me for Christmas.
Yeah, it's weird that she would pick me to go.
She said, take a friend. And I was like, well,
little love triangle. There's no doubt about that. But, yeah, we were in Bill Burr. Our phones were locked up, but I had no doubt in my mind that Denis Tiuliulin was going to come through for me. He did versus Jamie Pickett. Yeah, but he probably is going to lose this one. I just think SD's just a better fighter. It just comes down to that.
Yeah, I mean, if Denis Tiuliulin had some offensive takedowns, we've seen that you can take down SD. And I don't, as much as I was all over Nursultan Ruzaboyev in their last fight, and Nursultan won that fight fair and square, there was the eye poke, and SD did show he can take a shot. So even if Denis comes out hot, I think SD can eat it.
I think SD is going to be a little bit heated because I don't think he's going to be able to smoke over there. And I think he's a very big...
Just wound tight. Just pretty wound.
He probably has been over there for 10 or 14 days, and you cannot smoke over there.
Well, then that could go either way. He'll either be just wound up trying to get it all out or just foggy-headed out of sorts. Either way, we both are on the SD Dumas train. $8,900. While that is seemingly kind of crazy, Denis Tiuliulin in those losses does get finished. He scores well if he wins, but we don't really see that happening here. Interesting fight, but $8,900 for SD Dumas in DraftKings Fantasy might actually be worth it, even though sort of a lowish level fight. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the round line leans, the optimizer, which won that gentleman $16,000 this past weekend, you can do that now. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. If you sign up for this event, you are going to get all the way out to UFC 305. That includes the Izzy and the
we're going to watch
card.
Sedriques fucking TKO Izzy probably in the second or third round. And everyone's going to be like, here we go again.
WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. We have a $4.99 super chat from Mexican Vibe. He said, thank you, Bilal. Over and over. And that was a great pick by Jacob, great bet by Jacob. And Jacob got a lot of hate all week long for that. You guys hated that pick.
Platform.
Like, literally a lot of hate.
Instagram
crazy.
Messages like... the best part about that whole thing is, and the fact that obviously
it was cut and dry, no bullshit, no arguing. That's a nice way to win.
If you interrupt me again, we're going to have a problem. The best part about that was that obviously I put my money where my mouth was, so I was already confident. But I was so confident that during that live stream, I didn't react to anything. Okay, you got a takedown. It literally that whole fight was exactly how I thought it was going to go. So I'd seen that in my head 100 times. So just watching it, I was like, there you go. I was just sitting here like, didn't react to anything because I knew, man.
I did watch you. I assumed that you'd be screaming, yelling, whatever. But I was watching the result and you at the same time, and I was like, I wonder if he's worried about the scorecard. He's surprisingly calm, but.
And then after it was like official. Because the funniest part about the whole thing is like the fourth and fifth round, because Bilal was dominating, and you knew if he got to the decision, he was going to win. I didn't say a word because I really didn't want to jinx anything. It got to late in the 4th round, and I was like, oh, even if it gets reversed, he's going to be good to go. I opened my mouth to be like, well, like this, and Leon goes, boom, whap, and hits him with that elbow, and I was like, I was like, oh, shit.
That happened at the 5th round, and it exploded his nose.
Literally, I waited until there was 30 seconds left in the fight to even speak. I hadn't said a word in like 10 minutes, and I was like, well, and then reversed elbow, and I was like, oh no.
Dude, if he was able to do that in the 2nd round or 3rd round, the round that he won, he could have actually won that fight. That could have changed the whole can't breathe through your nose. Like, he exploded his nose with that one elbow. But he didn't. A little too gun shy. My body hurt, and now they have the excuses that his back was hurt.
My back.
I broke my back. Spinal.